Welcome back. I do have a new camera. A few people asked me, and this camera is a Canon G7X. It was a gift from my friend Ryan. It is much clearer, and hopefully the audio, last week I had some settings on it. I had to turn them off, so hopefully this week the audio will sound a little better. Everybody keeps asking me where my Rolex went. This is a Zeno watch bezel. I have 3 of them. It's easier to tell time at a quick glance, so that's why I started wearing these instead of the Rolex. The Rolex needs a tune-up. Time keeps slipping behind. Look at my watch constantly, so I think I'm on one time and the whole world is on a different time. So with these watches, the time stays a little bit more accurate. Hello? This week I got my students to make 3D letters. The good thing about making 3D letters is you can photograph them in any light. I think it's important for any type of graphic designer or maker to get into letters and to understand letter forms and to get into fonts and making 3-dimensional fonts. In this day and age, everyone's making videos, and you can make really cool video effects with just 3D letters.
Like, where's it gonna go?
The highlight of my week was I got to go down and hang out in Baltimore at the Baltimore Knife and Sword with the Knife and Sword guys. Kerry, Ilya, Matt. Met everybody, shook everybody's hand. It was a Hamme IN where everyone gets together and just starts hammering on metal. They host this every year, so it was a comfortable crew of people, and it was everyone sharing their skills and their craft. It was really an eye-opening experience for me. See their shop, their setups. Now I have a bigger list of things that I need to buy that are antiques, so I'm already looking online trying to find some of these tools that I want. And I got an education that I never really formally had as far as blacksmithing. I watch everyone's stuff, I watch The Dirty Smith, but I never actually put any of this stuff into action. And this weekend I finally got a chance to actually put some of these concepts, some of these principles into action, and also get a chance to observe close up in a non-threatening environment where guys were just there to completely share and show what they're doing. Everybody was working on Damascus, so I was getting to see the billets of Damascus, cable billets out of cable, which is something I've never really seen up close. I've heard about it. I want to say a huge thank you to Emery Stagmar. He's the brother of Kerry Stagmar and Matt Stagmar, the guys that actually do the Men at Arms Reforged show. Men at Arms is on the RedNeck channel, so I'll put a link down below. Emery invited me to come. He knew about this and he heard me talking about me wanting to do blacksmithing, and he invited me. So Emery, thank you, brother. I made a couple of friends this weekend that I think I'm going to keep. Brett came with me. Brett is my new shop hang-around, and Brett is also up-and-coming blacksmith, and he urged me to take advantage of this opportunity. So thank you, Brett, for that. And you see Brett in a couple of my videos here and there. Brett is the new guy hanging around the shop, helping me. Brett Smith was there doing leather work, and he did a full-on demonstration, so I took advantage and filmed this demonstration from beginning to end, and I thought it would be a good showcase for anybody interested in doing leather work, where you could just start with a sketch and you end up with a knife sheath done with, in this case he used a Tipman hand lever stitching tool, but you don't need to use that. Of course, you could just use a stitching fork that'll punch holes, and then you could hand lace it. This Tipman is a great tool. I've been contemplating buying one, and it was the first chance I got to see it up close being used. And it's just a matter of time before I pull the trigger on one of these. Right now, my workflow doesn't include a lot of leather work. If I had one of those, maybe it would. So there's the dilemma. What comes first, the work or the tools? In my case, usually I get the tools, then I get the work.
Well, I'm Brent Smith. My business is T-Star Leather. You can find me at tstarleather.com and also T-Star Leather on Facebook.
1 inch round.
Oh,
wow. I used to build the river.
Yeah, one with a comb, one without.
Hers is just really tiny.
Every once in a while we meet somebody that we'll remember for a long time, and this weekend I met a guy named Wally Yater. Wally is such an interesting character. He's 80 years old. He's going to be 80 in April, and I'm going to be 50 in April, so we're exactly 30 years apart. I felt like I was looking into my future. Wally is such an interesting guy with such pearls of wisdom because of his age and also because of his skill set. He's a lifelong blacksmith. He's also the founder of the Blacksmith Guild of Western Maryland, and apparently he donated some of his own personal property to that guild so that they could have a campground to work in and do some of the artistry of blacksmithing. And this is some of my time hanging out with Wally Yater.
I teach dumpster diving probably more than anything else.
That's great. That's great. That's a lot of what I promote is working with found materials.
The biggest job satisfaction a teacher can get is when you see some of your students get better at it than you are.
Oh, that's really true. I'm not much of a blacksmith, but I've been watching techniques all day yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And so last night we came back, I drew out the tip of that.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell you, man, for a first shot at a hammer, that's pretty damn good.
I got a little practice,
yeah.
But that's why yesterday I just spent the whole day watching, and then last night I came back, the crowd was gone, and everybody was, there was 1 or 2 guys forging, so I just said, you know what, now's the time for me to play around.
That's what they call the American pickup method of learning a craft. Yeah, you watch other people do it, you talk to people, you read books, you do it all the wrong ways for American pickup. We don't have very many good apprentice programs like they do in Europe. See, over here, all the parents tell their kids, you know, can't make a living working with your hands. It's all academic. It's all up here.
Yeah.
And so the result is that we got all chiefs and no Indians.
Wally's so full of passionate stories. It's just one story after another, or one enlightening, hey, did you hear about this? Or did you ever check out this? Did you hear or read this book? I mean, what a sweet guy. I mean, I wish I lived near him.
You see these guys up in Canada working on snow. They have nothing but logs with bark on them. and they're taking axes and adzes and hewing out these timbers, and they're building this great big ship. And they take these planks are like this thick. They take them out of the steam cabinet and bend them around the side of the ship, and all hand tools.
That's
I mean,
great.
no chainsaw or no electricity.
Yeah. Amazing. You designed these. What year did you design these?
Oh, God, back around early 70s.
And then you would cast them into sand casting?
Yeah, Frederick Iron and Steel cast them up. We'd probably, if they hadn't closed the foundry up, we'd probably still be making them.
And how many of these did you make?
A couple thousand.
And you said you sold them for what, $65 each?
Yeah, I think the most we ever got for them was $250 a pair.
And now they go for thousands. This is really. And what other tools did you make?
We made fire pots and then a ring animal, a 190-pound ring animal.
This is the sword project that I started when I was down there at Baltimore Knife and Sword, hanging out with the guys, and this is going to be an upcoming video. And of course I used my Torchmate plasma table to make 2 of these guards. I experimented with twisting the guard, heating it up and twisting it, and I'm going to make a nice handle for this. I have a couple of concepts. I'm still working out the details. But this is my first legitimate blacksmith. I drew this out from stock. Of course I ground it a little bit, but I drew this all out from stock right up to that point.
Walk in the front, and that's imprinted on my prophecy. I don't like it.
Okay, well, they're not actually pointed at you. They're just pointed in our backyard, and they're pointed on the side of our house, which happens to be the side of your house.
You guys ever hear of a rose engine? Recently somebody sent me Carrie Stagmer working on this tool and said, you got to get one of these. And now here it is a few months later. I'm actually in his studio with him. He's explaining it to me. This world of YouTube is just amazing. The way the community just like sort of comes together left and right. So take a look at what a rose engine is and what a beautiful piece of antique machinery this is.
So this is a Liger Rose engine from about 1850. I'm just getting it zeroed out a little bit so that I can make a cut for Jimmy and kind of show him how it works. Just close enough that it'll not go too crazy on us. Situated. And so I'm just going to move slowly and come in and take that first cut. And you'll see it begin to appear around the piece. And then we just take a simple index from the bottom. And you just continue with that cut throughout the entire piece. This is the same cut, only it's indexed slightly, rotating the head a little bit off center from the cam, and that creates a spiral as well. You just got to keep track of your work as you go.
When did you first learn about a machine like this?
About 10 years ago. I've been chasing a bunch of different machines like this with different people.
So when you first saw this, you said, I gotta have it.
Yeah,
did you see it for sale before you ever heard of it before?
They really don't come up for sale very often.
So you heard of it, then you saw them out, yeah.
And I met people. So.
Thank you again to Kerry, Emery, Matt, and Ilya. Guys, thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experience with me and the guys that were there that week. And Brett Mcafee, thank you, buddy, for encouraging me to go. I'm driving with Jocko down to Atlanta tonight. So, guys, I'll see you there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Atlanta at the Woodworking Show. Peace and love.
Has anyone heard of a transgender chicken? Because this one started growing spurs, and she used to have this really nice poof on her head, and now she's got this comb happening. This is our rooster, and we catch them fighting together, and they're like, you know, throwing their feet at each other. And I don't know, she stopped laying eggs, so I don't know, she's switching sides. Yeah, she has a spot where she lays eggs. She likes to sit on the floor, and she lays eggs on the floor. And hold on.
Are they gonna fight each other?
Everyone chill. But look, she's growing spurs, so I don't know.
Look at these disgusting feet.
Yeah, they are pretty gross.
Oh my God, his hands feel as bad as mine.
No, they don't.